Evening all, how you doing? It's Middle-Aged Gamer Guy here, also known as Mag. Welcome to another Tuesday night gaming chat where we talk about all the latest gaming news and reviews from the last 7 days or so. How is everyone?
No shit. Yes, no shit.
Tunesy, thank you so much. That is your tier 1 sub for 63 months. Thank you, dudes. Can we get exclamation sub hype in the chat for Tunesy? And I can press a button and give him a shout out. Greatly appreciate it. There you go. Actually, I can't because it's not on my stream deck. Someone else can give Tunes a shout out. Be greatly appreciated. Let's see who's here tonight. We are live on Twitch and YouTube, as always. I have got Kindred and Rockmuse. We're here exactly at the same time. But there you go. He says, I'm early as we were hoping I was put some of the game names in the title. I didn't. So there you go. Sorry, I scuppered you. Then just before we went live, I had the wonderful JL. Good evening, buddy. Hope you're well. We got Will. Says, yo, it's been a while. It has. Good to see you. Good to see you. And then we have got Matt. Bondi. Scars Are Stars. Hello. How you doing? Gilflight. Bondi says, I'm sorry I can't stay on a night shift. Have a great stream. Hello to David Cheese. Thank you so much. There you go. Chloe. Yo, yo, yo. Good evening. Says, how is everyone today? How's you? I am good. Ready for another show. Thank you, iQuell, for doing the shout out. Greatly appreciate it. No Game rocks. It does, doesn't it? It was playing No Game. Thank you, Tunes. Danka, good evening. Good to see you. Welcome all in for a show. So, a couple of things we're going to get out of the way. Tonight's show has kind of gone a bit astray in many ways. Hannah, good evening. Hope you're well. Good to see you. So, firstly, you know that my usual co-host, Dave, is on holiday. So, he will be back with us next week. But I have got a standing co-host, which is all good. So, it's all sorted. However, about an hour and a half ago, our guests dropped out of the show, unfortunately. So we were due to have Freddie from Southwesterly Games on the show because they were going to be promoting the fact that, you know, we've got their game that you've seen me play before on the show. And unfortunately, he had to drop out. So he then kind of said with about 30 minutes or 40 minutes notice, oh, it's all right. Joe from Southwesterly will cover for you. And Joe was like, I can't do it either. So bless them. They will be back on later in the year. But yeah, their game will be at Timeless. And if you watch the streams on Radar Festival that we're doing this weekend, you'll get to see them there anyway. So we're not going to do any promotion for them tonight. You know, it's fine. But if you want to see more, you can check them out at Timeless because they are part one of the indie games. We've got their game 9 Rounds Rapid, which is exceptionally good. You will also get to see them on tomorrow night's stream when we do the broadcast of For One Night Only, because both Joe and Katie were interviewed and will be on stage for the show tomorrow night. And then you will get to see on social media my interview with them before they went on stage, because I interviewed people before they went on stage for the show, which you will get to see once the embargo is lifted. So there you go. So I wish all the team at Southwesterly well. Unfortunately, they can't be here. It's happened. It's a thing. They'll be back on the show in the autumn. Never mind. Never mind. But you'll get to see plenty of them because I bump into them at nearly every show I go to. So there you go. But as I said, it's not all a complete loss. One, we've got Mojo and Pixie here. Mojo is right here. He wants to be on stream. He's literally saying, so we've got Mojo here. He's not going to be our official guest, but if our co-host gets some games right tonight with the scores, I think they're going to be on stream. He's like, oh, I'm so tired, I flop. So there you go. So you can do some of the shout outs. Is that all right, mate? I think he's agreed it. It's a doggy. Gilfly's like, Gilfly, doggies. Danka, congratulations. You got 450 Mojo Bites. Mojo as a co-host. Do you know what? If our co-host that's standing in had dropped out, this was probably what the option was going to be. So, you know, but there you go. Does he get washed? Lots, because he's so clean. He does get good washing. He doesn't like water, though, which is mad. Like some chihuahuas like swimming and stuff. He's afraid of water, but he's always so clean. Aren't you, buddy? So there you go. He'll be back on in a bit. Pixie is fast asleep. So we'll put them. They will also be on tomorrow's stream because we will have Doggo Cam activated. So they'll be on the stream all day tomorrow as well before they go back home on Thursday. So they won't be here for the Halo stream, unfortunately. But we'll see what happens. So without further ado, let's get our special co-host in for tonight. You know, we wouldn't break the rules. If original Dave can't be here, we have to get another Dave. And we're not talking about Dave Johnson and his vast collection of buckets. We are talking about the original OG Dave that's been here and watching these streams since I first started when I was a wee young, well, sort of about the same height, really, when I started. It's the one only, Tunes. Good evening.
Evening, sir. How are we doing?
Good to have you back again. Second time this year standing in, so thank you so much.
Mate, I'm honoured to be asked always.
No, it's great to have you here because yet again, I'm going to put this up. It says Dave, just not Dave. I've got Dave Tunes, the standing co-host that knows the most.
I love it, mate. I love it.
Just for you, mate. Just for you. So thank you very much for the sub, by the way. I mean, you're
welcome.
Co-presenting and then you're spending money on the channel. It's not supposed to be.
It's all good. No, you've got to support the streamers.
Yeah, it's all good. Falco, thank you so much. So what you lot up to tonight? It is talk show night, Falco. We're going to be talking about a load of games. But before we do that, Rock Muse says, should I change my name to Dave so you remember it? When did I forget your name, Rock? When did I forget your name?
And to be fair, you can never have too many Daves.
Yeah, I mean, there is that. I mean, once Dave Johnson appears, you probably can. But apart from that, yeah. But there we go. But at least we've covered that. Nope, just the sound alert. Oh, yeah, I did forget the sound alert. Oh, that reminds me. You've not sent me the thing you said you were going to send me last night about that. So please send me that so we can get that working. I remember you forgetting a guest's name, and it was the same as yours. When the hell did that happen? That obviously did happen. Blue Lou, good evening. Good evening, all Daves. I got on Rust till 3 a.m. Damn, I can't believe you're doing this whole Rust challenge thing. It's insane. So we had someone who was called my real name, which I'm not going to say. I can't remember. Bloody hell. That probably did happen. I'm Kindred, I'll say that. JL, you just been rewarded 450 Mojo Bytes for a 7-stream streak. Thank you very much, JL. Greatly appreciate it. Rock Muse is playing Rust. You got killed by a panther twice. Because Rust. It happens. Exactly. So, Tunesy, tell us, what have you been playing recently? And God help me if you're still playing that mobile game.
So, I may or may not be went into my 3rd year of Call of Dragons.
Wow, okay.
No, I've still been trying to keep up with Forza, doing as much as I can. However, most of my free time, and I mentioned it the last time I was here, has started on the development. Let me try that again. On the development of my game.
Yes,
so it's very slow progress because I forgot how difficult it is to code. But we're getting there. So essentially, it's going to start off like minimum viable product as a little 1v1 PvP sort of 16-bit. You're wandering around a Doom style maze and killing each other. So yeah, I've got things rendered so far and random maps being generated and been testing out on my multiplayer, but still a long way to go. But it's fun. Honestly, that's why I've got no hair. It's fun.
It's pulling your hair out completely from doing this.
Absolutely.
Bless you. Bless you. Well, we'll have to get you on as an official guest once your game is ready. or whether there's a demo ready, we'll get you on.
As soon as I get a demo like that, I think is not going to embarrass me. Then yeah,
that's all good. It's all good. Talking of mobile games, and this is a smooth segue. We are sponsored. Tonight's show is sponsored by Marvel Strike Force. Exclamation Marvel in the chat. There's not going to be anything on the screen tonight because obviously we're doing the talk show. But we have got a challenge. You've got until this time next week, I believe. If you've never played the game, we were sponsored by it 3 years ago. It's come back around for a second time. Anyone who's not played it on mobile phone, it's free to play. And if you click that link that's in the chat right now, please do play the game. We've set some challenges. They're in the Discord. You can get all the way up to level 60. And there's also things like complete daily challenges, 2 days on the trot, complete daily challenges, 5 days on the trot, etc. But you've got until Tuesday next week. And then I'll hopefully get a report and let you know how you all did. But also, until the end of the week, if you do download the game, if you use the code MUTANT, you will get Wolverine, Gambit, and Storm absolutely free of charge in the game. So you've got until Friday to claim that. So there you go. Brian, good evening. He says Dave looks different. Brian's over on YouTube. Well, it's still Dave, but it's a different Dave.
Yeah, I've grown a bit more hair than when other Dave was.
Yeah, you've got more hair than other Daves. That's a good point. Saying that, but you have been pulling your hair out.
But I've got a lot less than I had.
Yes. So pros and cons.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank you to our sponsor, Marvel Strike Force, for sponsoring us for the next week or so, or 8 days, I should say. Greatly appreciate it. Shall we crack on with our show?
Sounds like a plan, matey.
Right, well, I'll hit the button to show the comments because last week I completely forgot that and did it halfway through the show. And then I'm going to hit this button because, ladies and gentlemen, it's our 276th show. Tonight we're discussing such games as Avatar Legends, the fighting game, and a game you may have seen me play last night on stream, Splatoon Raiders. Plus, we're going to be discussing why Nintendo are not willing to pay out on the tariff rises, amongst other things. And we're going to be looking at the UK retail charts again and see how it's moved in the space of the last 2 weeks. But we will start, as we always do, with a couple of games. And this game came out last Tuesday. And this came out on PC. And this is called Dive or Die, Children of Rain. Let's have a look at this.
Maker, I have tried. For 5 years, the black rain poured without end, giving way to its abyssal pool. Do you hear it, Chief? The shallows have been touched, blessed. When you spot one of them blighted, you swim fast and you don't look back. Food stores are dry as a bone. Folks can't keep their wits about them on empty bellies. Gotta pull their weight, they do. You have doomed us all. We witnessed it. The shape of a true God.
There you go. So that's our first game tonight, which came out last Tuesday on PC, called Dive or Die, Children of Rain. Look, you said this might be a good one when Halloween comes around. Well, it's given me certain vibes because obviously there's a bit of a Cthulhu vibe. There's a bit of a Cult of the Lamb vibe because you're bringing up a community of people and you can sacrifice them or not and look after them, etc. But then it's obviously clearly got other horror game vibes in this. But based on all that, I can tell from the trailer. Tunesy, tell us exactly what this game is.
Yep. So you are responsible for keeping a struggling colony, colony, even alive, in a world devastated by this mysterious black rain. And sort of every expedition you take out into the wilderness, you might lose resources or even survivors. And so it's one where every decision counts. It's sort of roguelike progression, survival mechanics, and almost a Lovecraft inspired atmosphere. It looks quite good.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. I quite like the look of it, and it has got sort of horror elements, but I don't think it's like mega horror elements. Jesse, thank you so much for resubscribing. It's a tier 1 sub for 53 months. You've been subscribed for 59 months in total. Can we get a shout out for Jesse, please? Good to have you here,
5 years.
I know. Can you believe that? Because it's my 6-year anniversary in October. How mental is that?
Yeah.
I've been streaming for 6 years in October. Mental. Jesse may need a very special announcement next month. Mental, isn't it? But there you go. That's a lot of months. It is indeed. Thank you so much. Thank you for doing the shout out, iQuell. So for those who may not have seen the show, we don't review the games. I scour the internet to find lots of different reviews, whether it be from places like Eurogamer, GamerRanks, IGN, Metacritic, GameSpot, to name a few. I take those scores and I turn it into an average critics score. You may agree with it, you may not, but if you guess it correctly, then you'll get a shout out in the chat. Chloe says, congrats, Mag. That's awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, it'll be 6-year anniversary in October since I started. Then November will my 6-year anniversary of when I got affiliate. And then in January, it'll be my 1-year anniversary of being partner. Dear God, that's gone round quick. Dare I say it. 6 years, you're still a novice. Ain't I? Ain't I? Just scraping the surface, Brian. Literally scraping the surface. So let's see what scores people are saying. Now, Chloe doesn't like horror games. She said, I'll hate it. So obviously it's going to be an 8 out of 10. Also, I forgot to say, thank you, Kindred. Dive or Die, Children Ray, is on Steam. Normally 16 quid, but you can get it for £12.79 right now. Danker's saying an 8. Kindred saying an 8. Brian over on YouTube saying an 8. Hannah saying an 8. I think I can see a pattern forming here. iQuell missed the trailer, but he says 7. Jesse was like, what have I done? Don't worry, you're fine. Falco said this is a 2D style game. It's not for him. So he's going to give it a 7. Rock Muse says 8.5. And in December, it will be my 127th anniversary of being born, probably, since I was born in 1475. Flame says 7. Scar Star says 8. Retro says 8. Legendary JL says 8. Matt says 7.5. Good evening, Big Fuzzy Panda. Good evening, Flame, as well. Big Fuzzy Panda says 8. Tunesy, what do you reckon this got?
So, I quite like it. I'm not normally a big survival horror person, but I like the look of this. I would have gone for 8, but because I think the fact that the permadeath, the death in it, is going to be too tense for me, and I'm going to cry, it will be a 7.5. Okay,
7.5 from Tunesy. Rockmew says, I always like to have a little difference so all the 8s get the points, assuming 8 is correct. Danker says it's a roguelite. I see. So I'm a little more interested now. Okay. Folks, this is your last chance. This is Dive or Die, Children of Rain, which came out last Tuesday on PC. And as stated, it is currently, hang on, I've lost it. It's currently £12.79 on Steam. Normally 16 quid. So you can get yourself a bargain if you fancy playing that. If there are no other scores in the chat, I can tell you that the average score for this was 8 out of 10.
So close.
So close. So close.
Should have stuck with my gut feeling.
You were so close, buddy. 8 out of 10. There you go. There's a lot of shout outs. Hannah's like, yes, 1 for 1. So going from the top, I'm going to go through all these people. We're going to get shout outs to all of you. Chloe, congratulations. You got it right. Danka, you got it right. Kindred, Brian on UK Gaming Network, Hannah, Scar R Stars, Retro Shazar. Hello. I didn't say hello to Retro Shazar either. Hello. JL, well done. Big Fuzzy Panda, you all got it right. You all get shout outs. There's a demo as well, says Danka. So if you want to go check it out, a try before you buy, go check it out. That's definitely worth doing. So there you go. First game, all done. We'll get those shout outs. Thank you to the mods for doing that. While that's doing, let's move to our next game. This also came out last Tuesday, but this is on PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S. And this is Fading Echo. Let's have a look at this one. And actually, before I play the trailer, I'm going to say there seems to be some similarities between this and another game we're talking about later tonight, which I thought was a bit bizarre. There you go. That is Fading Echo, which came out last Tuesday on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S. Super Ninja, the anime guy, is he an evolution of Sonic the Hedgehog? Maybe. But he's also good. It seems like an evolution of Splatoon. And we're going to be talking about the new Splatoon game later on. So immediately when I saw this trailer, I was like, it's got Splatoon mechanics. Plus, it's got other mechanics from other games, doesn't it, Tunesy?
Yep, so it's an action adventure that revolves around manipulating water into different forms. So you can transform it into liquid, steam, or ice to kind of overcome environmental puzzles and defeat enemies. And you know what? It gave me sort of vibes such as Kena, Bridge of Spirits,
yes,
and also a bit of Prince of Persia-esque. But it's quite vibrant art style. But yeah, it looks like quite a good puzzle platformer as well.
Yeah, I'd be honest, I didn't really know much about this at all until it ended up on my radar a couple of weeks ago when I was putting the list of games together. But yeah, it's kind of got all the elements of a game that I would play. I just don't know if I'll ever get around to playing it. Kindred's just posted. So it's $16.74 normally on PC, £15.06 currently. So you save just over £1. But it's coming to Xbox and PlayStation later this year, so it hasn't actually released. And this is, I'm going to say this now. When I get these game lists, they state certain things, but they always state on the list that not everything is accurate. As we've had before, you get certain games go blah blah blah. But there was a game we were going to talk about tonight, which now been pushed back a month. So you know, it happens. When I researched it earlier this week, it was like, nope, that's been pushed back a month. So if stuff is not accurate, it happens. But there you go. So it's on PC, but it will be coming to consoles later on in the year. There's also a demo available for this one as well, if you want to check it out. Let's have a look at what scores people are saying. Hannah's saying a 7.5. Brian's saying a 7.5. Chloe says, I play this for show. 8.5. Rotmew's saying a 7. So get your scores in now. Dank is saying a 7.5. Kindred saying a 7.5. Flame saying a 7. JL saying a 7. Retro Shazar saying an 8. Chloe's like, maybe an 8. iQuell saying an 8. On screen, Mag looks taller than Tunes. That's not accurate. In the real world, he's taller than me.
My chair keeps sinking down.
Oh, it's the what's that called? The gas stem.
The gas, yeah. See, I was up here originally, but as the night goes on, I mean, to be fair, by the end of the night, you're just going to see me forward in there, and that's about it.
Is that better?
Oh, thank you, mate.
There you go. That's weird, though. I can't reach the stream deck now, so I'm going to... A leprechaun is taller than Mags. That's a true story. That is a true story. Don't talk about gas sets, Mags. No, God, no. Gas stems. No. No. God, bloody awful things. Bloody awful things. You have to hit them with an hammer. That's from a story that Chloe and me know from fucking ages ago. There's me whacking fucking gas stems up. Bizarre. Don't do it. Don't recommend it. Just buy a new chair. It's fucking cheaper. Anyway. There you go. So, what else? Falco saying a 7 out of 10. Tunesy, what were you going with this on this one?
See, I'm going to stick with my gut this time, and yeah. I'm going to go with an 8. I think in terms of me being any good of it at the game, I'm probably back down to a 4 because it's the sort of game I love, but I can't do to save my life. But yeah, I'm going with an 8.
Going for an 8. Okay. Bear, welcome in again. Is this open panel? You can guess the scores and then you can chime in with your comments when we talk about the different things. I believe you were here last week, so thank you for coming back. Good to see you again. So feel free. We are talking about the game Fading Echo, which came out last week. If you want to have a guess at the score, Bear, what it got out of 10, what the reviewer's given it, you might get a shout out for your channel if you get it correctly. But folks, this is Fading Echo, which came out last Tuesday on PC, PS5, Xbox Series X and S. And as I said, it's coming to Xbox and PlayStation later in the year, but you can currently get it for just over 15 quid on Steam. And there's a demo. So there you go. If there are no more scores in the chat, I can tell you that this got 7.5.
I finally had to swap my first 2 around.
I know. So funny. Tunes is just like, just out, just by a little bit. There you go. But yeah, 7.5 for this one. Hannah's like, woo, I'm on a roll. Done very well. So let's see who got this right. Dang it, says Chloe. So that's Chloe. No. So she 1 for 2 on that. But we got, let's see who got it right. Danka got it right. Kindra got it right. Hannah got it right. Brian got it right. So I think they're all 2 for 2. Well, ask the mods. Did Kindred get shouted out on the last one? If not, can you give him 2 shout outs, please? One at the start and one at the end. In fact, let me do one. iQuell's doing one for Danka. Let me see if I can do one for Kindred, and then the mods can do another one for Kindred in a bit. If I do that, that's for Kindred's last one. There you go. And then you can have one in a bit. There you go. Look at that. So there you go. While those shout outs are happening, Brian is 2 for 2. So at least 4 of you are 2 for 2. So there you go. So yeah, be interesting to see if this does better or worse than the Nintendo exclusive. I get the feeling the Nintendo one will do better. No offense to that game. Annie says, I don't think so. Jesse's just popped away for a bit to do something. Okay, iQuell, it's all over to you. Oh, there you go. Kindred's now got 2 shout-outs, so he's all up to date. So, iQuell, can I leave it in your capable hands, dear sir? I think the Nintendo one has the fans, and we will talk about that game a little bit later on, which is Splatoon Raiders. But before we do, we are going to talk about Nintendo. And this is an interesting one, because Nintendo are kind of pissing people off. Because as you remember, back last year, Nintendo had to put their prices up of the original Switch, not the Switch 2, but the original Switch, all the devices that you use with it, all the peripherals, and some of the prices of their games. And they had to do that because of the rising tariffs and the Trump tariffs. This went to court. And a judge, it went to the Supreme Court, and the judge stated that it's illegal. So the Trump tariffs have been deemed illegal. Therefore, Nintendo are going to get all the money back that they had to spend paying more tariffs. So good news for Nintendo. They've made probably a shitload of money back. However, this is where it gets a bit iffy, because then all the consumers have said, realistically, we've paid for a higher price item. Therefore, if Nintendo are getting refunded, we should be refunded as the consumer. And this has now gone to court. This is yet to be decided. But Nintendo's argument is the consumer is not allowed to have and not entitled to have a refund. Nintendo's argument is we were forced to put our prices up because of these tariffs, and therefore we then advertised that these prices were going up for the peripherals, the games, the Switch, and all the other bits. Therefore, the consumer knows what they're going to be paying and knows what they're paying for. And if the consumer pays that, that's their decision to, because they don't have to. Whereas Nintendo's argument is they were forced to pay the tariffs just to be able to keep the production of these items. So obviously that's not gone down well. And this, the consumers in America are now put it to a judge. So this again could go back to Supreme Court to see whether Nintendo will then be forced to pay out the money to the consumers. So my question here is, if Nintendo are getting the money back, and this is to chat and obviously Tunesy, should they be paying the consumers back? Or do Nintendo have a point in the fact that they were forced to do it and consumers have a choice, therefore they shouldn't have to give the money back to the consumers?
But yeah, I'm probably going to have the unpopular opinion because I'm siding with Nintendo. These were fees that were levied on them that they didn't want, and so they've had to pass it on. And yeah, it's the sort of thing where with the Nintendo bits I've bought, I'm not going to ask them for a refund because exactly like they've said, they've received the products at the price they agreed to, like knowingly agreed to pay. And so if there's any rebates, kickbacks, in whatever form it comes in, well, that's just a benefit for Nintendo. Now, I guess it depends how they use it. They could always do, like try and meet halfway and put it on your account as store credit rather than actual cash in the hand. So that way, they probably, I mean, they wouldn't really be losing anything because obviously anything that you buy on the store is all kind of profit to them after their outlay anyway. So I'd more say I'm siding with Nintendo, but as if there was mediation, go for store credit. Yeah. Okay.
So obviously we're going to wait on a judge to say what's happened. Obviously Nintendo have been given their ruling. They're going to get all the money back. Kindred has stated Warhammer makers Games Workshop has said the company managed to secure £7.8 million, approximately 10.3 million US dollars, refund on Donald Trump's tariffs because what he has done is illegal. Chloe's saying yes. If they had it, pass it on. But if they had it back then, they should kick back to the consumer. They hadn't got it then. That has only just been ruled. So they're only going to get the money back now. But as Quail says, so I've got the hiccups. I do agree with Nintendo on this. So he agrees with you, Tunesy. That said, the recommended retail price should now drop as it's no longer needed. Now, I think that's a fair shout. Like, if they know they've won the court case and they're getting the money, the price of the Switch, the peripherals, and the games should all drop again back to where they were.
Yeah.
If they don't do that, that's totally wrong. And then that's another argument. Rock Music was like, how do they even pay people back? I mean, that's a good thing. How are you going to track all that?
Yeah.
I guess through the online store, yeah. But if you bought through other retailers, how are you going to do that?
Yeah, that's it. It would be fine if they were tracking kind of digital purchases, but trying to get millions of people to submit like invoice receipts to then credit that. I mean, it's just not feasible.
And I guess some people just look at that and go, oh, I'm going to get £3 back from a game. Yeah. Some people would go through all that rigmarole to get the £3, but most people are just going to go, can't be asked. If they did get ordered to give back the best outcome, there you go, a couple of quid tops, says Danker. So there you go. So we shall see. Nintendo have won their case, along with many other companies, but we will see if the consumer wins their case. I get the feeling, knowing Nintendo's kind of track record with court cases, the consumer ain't going to win this one. So we will see. They still may have supply issues due to the ongoing conflict, so they may have to use money to change supply routes to make more. So this is the thing. So even though they've managed to get rid of Trump tariffs, the other issues are still affecting Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation. So there is still kind of raised prices because of all those issues. Though it's a class action, probably, you then have to opt in to get a share of the award. So we'll see. But we'll have more news on that when it gets reported. So hopefully we'll be able to tell you more probably in the next couple of weeks or months. Moving on to our third game this evening. This came out Wednesday last week on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PC and Switch. And this is Lifted. Let's have a look at the trailer for this.
I'm not doing it for money, Ari.
Then why are we in 1800s Egypt before the invention of air conditioning? Why the heck are we looking for this tiara? It's windy up here.
Let's keep moving so we don't freeze to death.
Good idea. So, what's the plan?
We storm the castle! And do you think you could hop from window to window?
Yeah, right. Go ahead, Ari. It's fine. Risk certain death for extra credit. Uncool. Really uncool.
Listen, I'm an old man, and this might be my last shot to do something great for the woman I love.
So you do this for...
love? You're doing this for love?
You do not seem like typical Tomb Raiders.
But we're not Tomb Raiders, Magdi. We're adventurers.
Where is the tiara?
Guys, we gotta get out of here!
You think this is a game?
My boy, we're going pirate hunting!
Oh, man. What the... You know, I'm not gonna lie. That was kind of awesome.
There you go. So, this is Lifted, which came out on Wednesday for PS5, Xbox Series X, PC, and Switch. Looks like a safe option for kids on this. Yeah. Not a bad art style. So, yeah, I mean, not a big fan of the Playmobil rip off a Rayman characterization. But also, it feels like the one character is like supposed to be like Marty McFly. I was like, get that feeling. It just feels like that. Tunesy, tell us a bit more about this.
Yeah, so it's a narrative adventure and also a puzzle adventure where you play as someone who suddenly finds himself able to levitate after a mysterious event. And so you're then exploring this surreal world. And it's something where the power of flight becomes both a gameplay mechanic and it was saying that it's almost like a metaphor for overcoming emotional burdens as the story unfolds. But yeah, it kind of focuses on exploration and environmental puzzles rather than sort of a combat type game.
Yeah.
But it's definitely one where it's more of a relaxed pace rather than sort of the fast action games.
Yeah.
Which works well for me because I'm getting older and my hands don't move quick things.
Shit.
Lulu, good evening. Lulu's just raided. Thank you so much. That's tier 1 sub for 23 months. Greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for the sub. That's the third one this evening. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciated. Let's have a look. So, what are people saying? Okay, yawning. It says you guys are all very well committed. Yes, we are. I don't think I'd play this. I'm not going to lie. It looks all right, but it's not going to kind of grab me. It was kind of like I'd prefer to try the game before. I'm not going to lie. What have I missed? Lulu says we've talked about 2 games so far: Dive or Die, Children of Rain, Fading Echo, and we're now talking about a game called Lifted. We also talked about the fact that Nintendo are getting all the money back because the Trump tariffs have been deemed illegal. So there you go. So Lifted is £16.75. It's currently £15.7. Switch is coming out later in the year. PlayStation's coming out later in the year. And apparently now they've cancelled it on Xbox. So I don't know why. But that's nuts. There you go. You can't have everything these days, I guess. Let's see what people are saying. Let's go and score. Sorry, you're my head off. Rock News, 8 out of 10. Danker, 7. Chloe, 6.5. Brian, 6.5. Hannah, 7. Loopy Lulu says, I'm going to go for a safe 7. If you haven't seen the trailer, go for a 7. You never know. Kindred's saying 6.5. Tunesy, what are you going to say?
Yeah, it looks okay, but although I'd say as I'm getting on a bit and need the slower type games, it's not really one for me. So I agree. I'm going for 6.5. Okay,
Tunesy going for 6.5. JL going for a 6. Flame going for a 7.5. iQual going for a 7. Retro Shazar going for an 8. Any more for any more, folks? This is Lifted, which came out last Wednesday. Coming to PS5 and Switch very soon. Apparently, it's been cancelled on Xbox. But it's now out on PC. And you get it on PC for... Where's it gone? I really should have started that off. Then I could have seen it. I've lost it. Hang on. I normally star Kindred's thing so I can come back to it quickly. There it is. Currently £15.07. So there you go. Save yourself a couple of quid. If there are no other scores in the chat, I can tell you that this... Actually, I'm just going to get rid of that. Okay. This got... 6.5.
Hey, what?
You got your first one right.
One and only of the evening.
No, you're going to get more than that. You're going to get more than that. Don't you worry. Kindred is now free for free. I think Brian is free for free as well. So I think Kindred and Brian are the only 2 that have got them all right so far. Danker is like, damn it, streak is broke. Hannah says, so close. Rockmew says, oh dear. Chloe's 2 for free. So yeah, Brian and Kindred are free for free. Let's see how far they can go in this. So there we go. But yes, we're going to give shout outs to the following people. Kindred and Brian. They get shout outs. Chloe gets a shout out because she's 2 for free now. And what you can do, you can actually do exclamation Dave in chat because Tunesy is a Dave. So therefore, exclamation Dave in chat. And how would you like your first shout out of the evening? Bearing in mind, we also have Mojo and Pixie, so we can utilize them.
Yeah, no, that's what I was going to say. Like, providing Mojo hasn't fallen asleep as well, can we get a wave from Mojo?
Can we get a Mojo wave?
Yeah.
Come on, buddy. He's up. Dave!
We love
No,
Mojo
baby.
and Pixie.
Yeah. We'll get Pixie up in a bit. He's like, hello to my fans. Keep watching for Mojo bites and streaks. Don't give your money to this twat sitting next to me. There you go. Thank you, buddy. Thank you for your parents. There you go. And they've both settled back down in bed there, so they're very happy. There you go. Shout outs going to everyone. Give money for more treats. There you go. He's smiling. That's the best way to say it. Everyone's like, oh, in the chat. There you go. Bless them. Bless them. It's all good. On to our next game. This came out on Thursday on PC and Switch. This is called Helix, Descent, and Ascent. And yes, there is an N, as in an N. Let's have a look at the trailer for this. There you go. This is a game I've had quite a lot of press releases about over the coming months. This is called Helix, Descent, and Ascent, which came out last Thursday on Switch and PC. Tunesy, tell us a little bit about this one, please.
Well, first I've got to start off by the fact that this is made by a developer that is called Badass Mongoose. And
yeah,
so
what a name.
I think that needs recognition all on its own. But yeah, it's one where you awake in a mysterious monochrome world with sort of no memory of who you are. And as you get further on into the Helix, you unlock powers that can be combined in different ways to solve more complex puzzles, whilst you uncover the fate of a forgotten civilization. And this is one where the developers actually delayed the game to add more content after the demo got such rave reviews. And also I like the way that you, with the puzzle mechanics, you have to combine different abilities rather than just unlocking new ones. So, yeah.
That was quite good. Yeah. I have to say, I'm undenied about covering this one or not, because I've been offered it and I'm just like, I don't know whether I'll fit it in, but it does look interesting. I'll say that. Kindred has stated on Steam it's normally $13.75. You can get it for £12.37, but it's actually cheaper on Switch because it's normally $13.49. You can get it for £12.14 right now. It's a bit of a bargain, that one. Actually, I'll keep that starred because I'll refer to that later. Let's see what people are saying. Brian, 7 out of 10. Danker, 7.5. Chloe, 8. Hannah, 7.5. Rock Muse says a 7, but this game is not for me. Kindred, 8 out of 10. Danker says it's getting decent Steam feedback. So, chat, get your scores in. This is Helix, Descent and Ascent, which came out last Thursday on Switch and PC. And you can roughly get it for just over 12 quid right now on both platforms. Tunesy, what do you reckon this got?
I'm basing mine just on the fact of how rave reviews it got on Steam. So I'm going for an 8.
Going for an 8, okay. Flame saying a 7. Brian says, only seen 3 reviews for it, but the scores were all over the place. Retro Jazar says 7.5. iQual says 8. If there are no more scores in chat, I can tell you that this got 6.5 on average.
Wow.
So, as Brian has rightly said, I found more than 3 reviews. I found about 5 or 6 reviews, and some are like high 8s and good, and then we've got some 5s and 5.5s. It's people are very divided on this,
and it's really split, isn't it?
Yeah. So when I took the average of the 5, Metacritic doesn't have any score. Yeah, it wasn't on Metacritic. I had to scour for reviews because I'm going to say this now. We sometimes start with more games. So potentially we had 9 games tonight that had review scores, which we obviously then whittled down to 8 games. Before that, I had a list of 15. But those other games had no review scores, like not even 1 review score. So therefore, it can't be put into the show because I can't work out an average. But I know that one didn't have any scores on Metacritic, but there were some other websites that come out. But as Brian said, the scores were massively different. Massively different. So it's really divided people, this one. But if you like the look of it, go for it. Maybe some have a similar vibe to me, then maybe they do.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they do. Kindred's like, fuck, there goes my streak. Yeah. So, in fact, there goes everybody's streak because both Brian and Kindred got this one wrong. So no one is going to get full scores this week. But did anyone say 6.5? Nobody said 6.5. No shout outs needed. Exactly. No one got it right.
Big round.
Wow. There you go. So we are halfway through. Let us know how many you've got right.
Mm-hmm.
Danker's got 50% right. Brian's got 3 out of 4. I think Kindred's the same with 3 out of 4. Yeah, there you go. Let us know where you are on it. And even if you haven't got any right, don't worry about it. Let us know. It's all good. There you go. We're going to move on to some more gaming news. And 2 news stories for you now. Not bad news, if anything. In some ways, some good news from 2 different things. Firstly, back end of last week, Xbox announced they're finally doing backwards compatibility for games on PC through Game Pass. And they started with 4 titles. Blinks, Conquer Live and Reloaded, Crimson Skies, and Fusion Frenzy. They basically stated that if you already own these games, but you've not got the Game Pass, you can play them on your PC because you've got the license to do so. So now you can play it through that. And if you've got PC Game Pass Ultimate, you can play these games now. They have now been added to the libraries. More titles are coming to PC Game Pass later in the year. And also, they will be available on the cloud gaming service as well. But as Dank said, it is good. However, I've seen the needs to be quite, the specification to be quite strong. So yeah, so I wouldn't recommend playing it on the cloud yet. unless you got super duper Wi-Fi. And you're going to need a pretty decent PC to play it on PC Game Pass. Brian says Crimson Sky is such a good game. It is. I also remember, as I was writing the show, I remember Fusion Frenzy quite belovedly. And Conquer, I'd never played the reloaded version, but I did play the original. Because it was Conker's Bad Fur Day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I remember that. But I never played the live and reloaded version. There you go. So before going to the next thing, Tunesy, are you happy that they're now doing this? Because obviously we've had backwards compatibility for Xbox 360, original Xbox, Xbox One for quite a few years now. So the fact they're bringing it to PC, this is a good thing, really, isn't it?
It's brilliant news because it's more. It's not just kind of porting for older games over. It's almost like the beginning of an effort to preserve Xbox games, and by bringing a lot of the catalogue over to the PC. And it isn't just a straightforward port. They've done quite a few improvements, like with full screen and windowed modes, different languages. I'm just trying to think of all the bits I've read. VSync, which will suit some of the gamers. But yeah, it's one of those ones that could they eventually become one of the best official platforms for playing sort of preserved console games rather than buying sort of cheap Chinese things with MAME emulators on them.
Yeah. Brian says all 4 games are in my library as they were given away with Games with Gold back in the day. Well, there you go, which technically means you own the license to them, so you can continue playing them, which is good.
Yeah. I do wonder how it's going to be with licensing issues, like especially if there's any games that have got licensed music or vehicles, brands, film characters, that sort of thing. I wonder how that will work.
Yeah, or whether they'll just steer clear of those titles.
Yeah.
Because if you think about Conker's Bad Fur Day, technically, well, they own Rare, and Rare brought that out back in the day, and it was part of Rare Replay, which was the celebrating the 30 years of Rare. Yeah. So that isn't a worry because they own all the rights to that now. But you're right, if other games come along, they'd have to see. But maybe they're going to be quite choosy. They've said that more games will come along, as and when, we don't know, but later in the year. The other big game news that happened was, obviously, it was San Diego Comic-Con over the weekend. Lots of big things announced for films. But one thing that was announced is a game that we found out about just over a month and a bit ago, because it's Summer Games Fest, part of the PlayStation Showcase. We got a 20-minute deep dive into the new God of War game, God of War Laufey. And during Comic-Con, they did a panel about the game, and we have got a release date. And this is going to surprise some people, because it is announced that this God of War Laufey is coming out on the 16th of Feb. So a lot sooner than people thought. 16th of Feb 2027, which makes February a very packed month, because we are going to get this. We're going to get the new Fable. We're going to, obviously, the Tomb Raider remake has been pushed back to February. And there's one other game that I can't remember, but you've got them. Plus, we're getting the Persona 4 remake as well. So it's going to be a big month for games in February. There's going to be a lot of competition. But what is interesting on the panel, people were saying, well, this is an offshoot. This obviously runs alongside the last 2 God of War games. But when are we going to get another Kratos game? And they stated there will be the next chapter of Kratos after this game. And this game is going to link into the next game, the 4th game in the series. So there's some people that are going, well, I probably won't play this because it probably hasn't. You're probably going to want to play this because it will link into the next game, which features Kratos. So you've been warned, folks. I'm quite looking forward to this. I'm not going to lie. I do like a bit of God of War. I don't mind that it's changing characters and stuff. And obviously the lead actress is Deborah Ann Woll, best known for True Blood and Daredevil. So I think she'll do a cracking job with this. I thought it looked good from what we've seen. But it is literally going to be out 6 months after the other exclusive, Wolverine. So that's pretty crazy. So delivering that pretty quickly. Why have I got the feeling Microsoft might reconsider Fable's date again? I'll be playing Fable. The rest can do one, says Kindred. God of War 2 on the PS2 is still the pinnacle of this series. If the GTA 6 effect strikes again, you watch GTA 6 gets pushed back to February. Then everyone's screwed. Are you looking forward to this game, Tunes? And chat, let us know if you're looking forward to the third game in the series.
Yeah, see, I haven't played. I played the first one. I didn't play the second, but because so this one it focuses a lot more on Faye.
Yeah.
And because it looks like I wonder if they're going to sort of explore the relationship with Kratos, especially as, like you said, it leads into his Kratos being the next one. But Faye's been central to like the Norse saga, although not been absent for most of it.
Yeah.
So it gives a chance to tell her story. But also, I mean, it's mixing it up because a different protagonist could allow for sort of faster combat rather than how Kratos just comes in and clubs things sort of thing.
Yeah.
But,
boy.
Yeah. But no, it's one I'm definitely going to give a go. But I will also try and get God of War 2 in before then to keep the continuity.
It looks good. I like the look of it. I wasn't expecting it so soon. The fact they announced it near the start of June, Summer Games Fest, or middle of June, I should say. I was expecting this to get like 2028. Didn't know this was going to be so soon. Like literally, we've got like 8 months till we get it.
Yeah.
So there you go. When Fable comes out, everyone's going to be just quiet online. Brian says if GTA slips again November, will be the quieter than June was for game releases. I know, because there's hardly anything else scheduled for November. We're going to get rammed in September and October. And then November, it's just all about GTA 6. So if they do cancel, it's going to be pretty shit.
Yeah.
In another good gaming news, Mind's Eye is on sale. Oh, fuck off. Get it on Steam or PlayStation 5 for 50% off. Or grab the deluxe edition on Xbox for 70% off. I may unsubscribe from IO. I actually got 3 emails over the weekend about Mind's Eye and what they've updated. I was like, why are they still trying? It was one of the worst games of last year. Why? Oh no! Breaking news in the last hour, Double Fine has announced layoffs, 23 people. That's because Xbox let them go. That's a shame. Yeah. I have a story to tell about Double Fine, but you'll have to wait until after Timeless. And I feel bad for them, but I'm not going to talk about it until after Timeless. So that's all I can say. But you might all be cursing Xbox after Timeless when I do tell you. The trilogy remastered is still on the horizon too. Yes, we might get the trilogy of God of War. So there you go. Let's move on. More games. What happens when you get a Souls-like and dinosaurs? Well, you get this. This has got to be the shortest trailer we played in a long time. I mean, it's like 20 seconds or something. This came out on Thursday on PC. This is Dinoblade. Yeah, there you go. Dinosaurs with giant swords, because that was a thing that happened. Tell us a bit more about this.
I mean, this is one that I could literally sum up in one line. It's Dark Souls, but you're a dinosaur with a giant sword. But yeah, as I say, it's a Souls-like sort of action RPG where you're a Spinosaurus that's got a big greatsword, wandering around a prehistoric world, battling rival dinosaurs that have also got big, oversized weapons. And so, yeah, it's a Souls-like combat, and you're trying not to become extinct.
Yeah, it's so funny because there's a couple of game outlets, I'm not going to name which ones, who are really hyped for this. And there's some that are just like, don't really care. It's normally $17.75. We can get it for just under 16 quid. Thank you, Kindred. I don't like Souls-like, so I would never play this, but it does amuse me. It's just, I mean, they've got such little hands. How do they hold the swords?
That'd be funny. It's like, what's the T-Rex going to do? Apart from wave at you, and unless it can throw a hand grenade, right?
Nunchucks. Keeps hitting itself in the face.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It does, mate. Now, this is interesting. The Steam player reviews on Steam are very positive. So people are liking it. Danker says, I swear, if this is a 7, I am walking. Okay, get your scores in, folks. This is Dinoblade, which came out on PC last Thursday. And as we said, it is just under 16 quid right now. iQuell giving this a 3.5. Brian, 7.5. Chloe says 7. Hannah says 8. Matt says a 6.5. Panda says 7.5. Kindred says 7.5. Retro Shazar says a 6. Tunesy, what do you reckon this got?
See, I'm going with the 6.5, and I think anything higher is somewhat optimistic.
Was that a 7.5, mate? Was it?
No, sorry, 6.5.
6.5, sorry.
Yeah.
Love how Steam says similar to games I played, and then says Crimson Desert.
How?
Flame 7. Any more, folks? Last chance. This is Dinoblade on PC out last Thursday. I could tell you that this got 7.5 out of 10.
Wow.
So it's done all right.
Yeah.
Danker has now left the chat. This has got 7.5.
Perhaps if it's all of the people that are kind of like Dark Souls fans and like fans of Souls-like games, but yeah, that one stumped me.
Yeah, I'm going to say this. It looks completely dumb, but apparently people are absolutely loving it. Absolutely loving it.
Yeah.
So the following people did get it right. Kindred, well done. Big Fuzzy Panda, you got it right as well. Brian from the UK Gaming Network. That's a new thing, iQuail. I never knew you could do that. You can basically shout out myself. It says, be sure to follow Middle-Aged Gamer Guy. He's currently live playing talk shows and podcasts with 20 viewers since Tuesday, July 28th. At this time, has been live for 1 hour, 13 minutes and 18 seconds. I've never seen that in all these years.
Nope.
I don't think he meant to do that. No. So, in the lead, Brian and Kindred have got 4 out of the 5 games right. Hannah says, I'm still 2 for 5. iQuell's fat fingers shouting out random letters again. Dear, oh dear. I love that iQuell said, neither did I. It was a typo. But now we know that exists. What did you even type?
I think it's just it leaving
It's
an
shout
app
out
with
app.
nothing else. Yeah.
Yeah, must be. Hang on, let me try it. Yeah, it is. There you go. Just shout out at. But the difference is I've now been streaming for 1 hour, 14 minutes and 46 seconds. Thank you. There you go. Never knew that existed. That's mental. All these years. You learn something new every day, don't you? There you go.
Absolutely.
Right. From dinosaurs with tiny hands and giant swords to something a bit more familiar with people that have played a number of games in this saga. This came out last Thursday on PS5, Switch, Switch 2, and PC. And this is a trailer for our next game, which is Disgaea Mayhem. Let's have a look at this.
Line.
Nay.
Not bad. Incarnation complete.
No intention of becoming a god. Come on. I have no intention of becoming a god. Come on. Here I come.
PlayStation.
Yeah. So that was a thing that people were looking at and going, what the hell? Now, we've talked about some of these other games in this saga before. But I'm just like, I can't be asked to play that. And this game is 50 quid on all platforms. Yeah. But for those who might be interested in what this is, please do tell us, Tunesy.
So all of the others have been kind of like tactical RPGs, like in the series, and this is taking it in a slightly new direction because it's got the hack and slash type action.
Yeah.
But although the gameplay is different, it still has all of the things that fans of the franchise will recognize, like the insanely outrageous damage numbers. I mean, you even saw from the trailer, like it was over 1 million in damage.
Yeah.
And it seems somewhat over the top in terms of its attempt at humor. But it's still got item world, which has always been popular in the franchise. But yeah, I guess I wonder if the public are going to be kind of split, because there are some that will like the new approach, and the others will be like, keep to what you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. I've played one of the others in the franchise, and it didn't grab me at all. And to be fair, I think I'm going to swerve this one.
I have got no interest in this whatsoever. I'm gonna put that out there. Just gonna say it. Just not interested. Can't be doing with it. Is America pushing the limits of what makes them money? I got conned into buying one of these series back on the PS2 by reviews. So yeah, get your scores in, folks. Let's see what people are saying. Brian, 6 out of 10. Danker, 6 out of 10. Chloe, 5. Matt says, oh dear, it's a 5. Hannah, 5. Danker's like, this can't be more than a 6. Kindred, 6. Flame, 5. I actually think more people who have played the hack and slash ones would be disappointed by this. I'm going to guess, considering what the rest of the series is like.
Yeah.
Ems, good evening. Evening, Mags, and Dave, not Dave.
Evening.
Retro Jazar, 6. Tunesy, what do you reckon this has got?
I'm going for a 5.5, and if this turns out to be one of the highest scoring games of the night, then I think I'm just going to quit.
You're going to walk like Danker did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it just shows how out of touch I am.
Em said, Mr. Trailer, so a solid 7. We'll let you have that, Ems. Don't worry. All right. But looks like it'll be less. Yes. Okay. This is Disgaea Mayhem, which came out last Thursday on PS5, Switch 2, PC, and is the extortionate cost of 50 quid on all platforms. I can tell you, if there's no more scores in chat, that this got 6 out of 10.
Okay.
So for those who might like the series, it's okay. Anyone else probably will not like this. And some people might not like this anyway, because they've changed it up.
Mm-hmm.
Danker's like, thank Christ.
Yeah.
There you
I feel
go.
vindicated now.
Yeah. And 50 quid for that. Yeah. I agree, Kindred. Like, I was expecting like 25 quid, maybe less. 50 quid for that. Damn. Huzzah, says Chloe. She got it right. So let's have a look. Retro Huzzah, well done. You got it right. Kindred, well done. You got it right. Oh, Chloe didn't get it right. Danker got it right. It was a 6, iQuail. Yeah, I just saw you didn't get it right. My apologies. Brian got a 6 as well. So 4 of you got it right. And then others were quite close. There we go. Brian is now 5 for 6, and so is Kindred. Danker's now 3 for 6. I hazard it was a lower score. I'm not going mad. No, I see why you hazard now. I can see why you hazard. I just thought you hazard because you got it right and then realised you didn't get it right. So my apologies. So there you go. Let's talk more gaming news while those shout outs are being done. Thank you very much, Iqua. Interesting one. Story of Sony continues. But this is from a few other different people. So, obviously, a couple of weeks back, we got told that Sony stated that as of January 2028, physical games will no longer be a thing. Any new titles that they put out will not be physical. It will all be download only for PlayStation moving forward. This has obviously caused a big uproar, as we know, because we've talked about this for the last couple of weeks on the show. But there's a couple of different people's opinions this week. Firstly, the boss of Ubisoft said, if Sony kill discs, there is upsides to this. And he's like, hear me out. Think back to PCs. PCs used to have CD-ROMs. PCs now sell more games thanks to platforms such as Steam, Epic, etc., than they did when they had CD-ROMs. So it could have that effect on it. But he did say there are still pros and cons for this whole argument. But in terms of how it's going to change the whole gaming market, it's probably not going to do that much. And as we talked about, going back quite a few years ago, the download market was only about 13%. But then looking at last year, it's over 80%. So it might not change things. Brian says, because everyone loves the opinions of Ubisoft. It's because they've got a hit on their hands right now. They're topical. So that's what they said. And then, literally, this week, a Twitter account called Does It Play has been campaigning for the last few weeks to boycott Sony. And their campaign has actually gained a lot of traction. Literally in the last few days, it got an extra 1.5 million people basically sign a petition that states that during August, now I've not got set dates for this, so I'm not sure when in August, but during August, they want people to do a boycott of Sony. That means do not turn your PlayStations on for a week. Do not buy any games for Sony for a week. Do not do anything with Sony for a week. So if you only got a PlayStation, might be a bit difficult. If you've got other consoles, probably not so bad. But they're basically saying don't spend money with Sony. Don't play anything of Sony's. Don't do that. This has gained a lot of traction. My question is, for this, do we think this will actually happen? Yeah, because it's all well and good saying, you know, this on social media and it getting lots of likes and that, but it takes a lot of people to do something. And would it actually have an effect?
Yeah, and that's the thing. So, like, with the what the Ubisoft boss said, it's not. It's about what he said, but it's also about what he didn't say. Because he's right. Digital distribution helps expand PC gaming, but I was about to say exactly what iCarl has said, that PC users have got Steam, GOG, Epic, and others. Whereas console owners are largely tied to the console manufacturer's own digital marketplace. And so, yes, okay, digital-only consoles, they can do cheaper, like they have done, but it removes things like used game sales, lending and borrowing games, like the price competition from retailers, those that collect the collectible editions, a bit like people that get steelbooks for films and stuff. And also, it's having a physical media is another way of preserving games, and also the way of being able to try and recoup some money if you sell games that you don't want anymore. Yeah. So, I mean, yes, there are pros and cons. I just don't think his PC gaming, it wasn't a perfect comparison to use.
No.
And with the boycott, it's 7 p.m. from the 23rd of August until 7 p.m. on the 30th.
So that basically is going to be running during Gamescom week.
Yeah. So, but
it's a bad week to pick.
yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's like, will it work? Because, okay, people may not use the platform. That in itself isn't going to harm Sony. It's more, yes, there may not be purchases, but there's no point in not purchasing a game if a week later you're going to turn your console on and then purchase the game.
It makes no difference, does it?
Yeah. If people were cancelling subscriptions and a lot more negative publicity, they're the sort of things that may have an impact. So I get it. I just don't think it's going to. I don't think it's going to do anything in that way.
No. DJ Mike says, I say we all buy Dreamcasts and forget the current state of games. Good shout, Mike. Good shout. Hope you're well, buddy. Like I said, I don't think his logic holds water on a walled garden system. Like says, PC has multiple stores to choose from. And even the high seas. So they need to stay competitive. Danker says some PC games will be difficult to play under the so-called boycott since you need a PlayStation account. Helldivers 2 being a good example. Yeah. So don't play on Sony, hate on Xbox, so you're left with Nintendo. Now the courts have got bored of their copyright cases. Exactly that. Brian says, my Dreamcast is in the garage. Don't need to buy one. There you go. I do find Gamescom week a bit of a silly thing because all Sony has to do is go, hey, we're shadow dropping a brand new game. And that's that fucking boycott gone.
Yeah.
Just saying. Might want to plan the better week. We'll see. Oh, dear. There you go. Let's move on to our final two games of the night, folks. And this is of a much beloved property of anime and movies and comics and games. And this came out last Thursday on PC, Switch, Switch 2, Xbox Series X and S, and PS5. And this is not to be confused with those blue people. This is the other Avatar. This is Avatar Legends, the fighting game. Let's have a look at this.
Is airbending too tricky for you? It's not over yet. Go away!
Going all out! This! Dodge this! Here I go! Countdown! You won't get past me! Stop now!
Water tribe tactics prevail!
The revolution has already begun!
Time for the Avatar state! This is metal bending! We'll take no more!
The ultimate price!
PlayStation.
There you go, folks. That is Avatar Legends, the fighting game, which came out last Thursday. Brian says, this looks okay, but I just played Marvel Token. This hasn't got a chance with anyone but the fans. Now, Marvel Token comes out very soon, August, which is, if you don't know, is the big new Marvel fighting game. So they're trying to sneak this in, obviously, for anyone who might play it, who might not be interested in Marvel, but we'll see. We'll see. I think it looks competent, put it that way. It looks very competent. 4th of August, so literally next week. Yeah, next week. I was looking forward to this, despite no interest in Avatar. But then the Marvel Token open beta drops, and I haven't touched it. So I think it's going to get overshadowed. This is, thank you, Kindred, 25 quid on all platforms. Steam, Xbox, PlayStation, and the Switches. I did hear a version has been delayed for this. Ooh, I've not heard. Let me know. Tuesday, tell us more about this fighting game set in the Avatar universe.
Yeah, so it brings the world of Avatar into like a competitive 2D fighting game where each of the characters use their signature elemental bending abilities. It's one where it looks like the combat system could be for casual gamers and also competitive fans, because there's already speculation about future downloadable characters and even the potential of esports if the game gets like picked up and gains traction. But as I say, as everyone's talking about Token, it's is it the wrong time?
Yeah. Well, apparently the Xbox version has been delayed to September the 3rd. So literally a month after, but all the other versions are coming out. Well, they're already out. So that's an interesting move. So there you go. Let's see what people are saying with scores. I do like a good fighting game, but I don't know whether this is one I would try. Dank is saying an 8. Brian saying an 8. Flame saying a 7. Hannah saying an 8. Kindred 8 as well. Tunesy, what say you? Chat, get your scores in.
Yeah, I am going to go with the masses, and because it looks a good game, I'm going to go for an 8.
Going for an 8. Okie dokie. Tunesy's going for an 8. Ems is going for 7.5. Fuck, is the internet gone off? Oh, are we back?
Yeah.
Are we back?
Yep,
Internet just went. No,
just
internet. It was a blip with the internet. I was like, oh, God, not again. And I got the whirling screens on my screen. And I checked, and the Twitch and the YouTube was still going. So it was obviously a blip from StreamYard. So I was like, oh, thank God we haven't crashed. There you go.
It was one of those ones where I thought, has someone frozen time? And I'm going to be about like to taken off into an alien spacecraft or something.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, it was mental. I was just like that because I was like, oh, it's freeze for a second. And I just got these little whirring screens on the display here. But then everything else was working on Twitch and YouTube. So I was like, well, nothing's crashed. So God knows what that was. But there you go. But we're back, folks. We're back. We're back. We're back. We can blame StreamYard for that one. That wasn't me for a change. Wasn't for me. And it wasn't my internet either. I thought it was at first, but I looked down. I was like, oh no, that's working. So that's fine. What are we saying? So yes, you're saying you're going with the masses. You said an 8.
Going for an
8. Folks, last chance. This is Avatar Legends, the fighting game, which came out last Thursday on PC, Switch, Switch 2, PS5. Comes to Xbox Series XS in September. And is 25 quid across the board. iQual saying an 8 as well. If there are no more scores, I can tell you this got an 8 out of 10.
Yay.
So there you go. 8 out of 10. So well done, Tunesy. We'll come back to you for your second one of the night. And iQuail, you got it right. Retro Shazar, well done. Kindred, Hannah, Brian from the UK Gaming Network. Danka, well done. You got those all right. I don't think I've missed anyone there. Kindred is now, dare I say it, 6 for 7. Danka is now 4 for 7. I think Brian's 6 for 7 as well. So Kindred and Brian still out in the lead. But Tunesy, you get to have your second shout out. I'm guessing we might want the second dog, do we?
Yeah, is she awake?
Pixie? Yeah, she is.
So, what many people don't know is that Mag is actually a world-class ventriloquist. And this is going to be proven because Pixie's going to give me a shout-out.
Hey, Tunes, you did brilliant. Thank you for the shout-out. Yay! Do exclamation Dave in the chat, everyone.
Well played, mate.
Well done, little girl. I know that was very good. There you go. Fantastic. Well done, you. Well done. There you go. Our final game of the night is a game that you saw me playing last night, some of you. And this is something a little bit different because obviously Splatoon is a massive franchise. And I decided to do the first ever story-based Splatoon game. This came out last Thursday. You saw me streaming it last night. This is on Switch 2 only. This is Splatoon Raiders. Let's have a look at the trailer for this one.
On the Spiralite Islands, treasure is yours for the taking. Enemies will get in your way, but you've got the tools to deal with them. There are all sorts of strange environments. And the deeper you go, the more treasure you'll find. What else lies below the surface? Splatoon Raiders, available now.
There you go, folks. Splatoon Raiders, which Kindred just posted up. 42 quid. 42 quid for this one. I didn't know what to expect from this because everyone knows Splatoon has been free Splatoon games. You know, team-based. You're either a kid, you're either a squid. Cover the areas, move fast, use different mechanics for team-based games. And this is more like a loot, this is a number of things. It's a platformer. It's a extraction shooter in some levels. And then it's kind of like elements of the original Splatoon games. I really liked this last night. I think it was the one of the challenge levels was bloody difficult, and it took me like 14 attempts. But I quite like this. But for anyone who doesn't know what it is, I'll let Tunesy say a bit more about this one.
Yeah, so I mean, it is a big departure from the series because like it's still got the third-person shooter, but it's an action adventure where you join Deep Cut going through the mysterious sort of Spiralite Islands. But as you said, it's exploration, it's gadgets, it's ink-based sort of combat, but it's definitely a more story-focused experience. And so it leaves the competitive multiplayer like behind.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't have co-op on this, either couch co-op or online co-op, but that's about it. 2 players is all you're going to get. but it is very geared to being a solo game, which I'd never expect Splatoon to be. So this was a nice surprise. I don't think this was a game I was particularly hyped for, but I really liked it, and I will continue to play it. Brian managed to get a physical copy for 35 quid. That's good going. It's nearly a tenner on. Icos says, I thought all Chihuahuas had Mexican accents. Are you telling me the cartoons have been like? No, they only have Mexican accents if they're from Mexico. My Chihuahuas are from Stafford. Not quite the same. So let's have a look. Get your scores in, folks, what you think this is going to be. Brian said, I gave it an 8. It's good if a little repetitive. I'll guess the same score for the average. Ginger says, I'm going 8. All the other Splatoon games scored around the same through the years. Makes good sense. Hannah says 8. Danka says 8. Flame says 8. M says 8.5. Retro Shazar says 8. Tunesy, what do you reckon this?
I'm going 8.5 because I want this to be the highest scoring game of the night.
Okay, you want this to be the highest scoring game of the night. 8.5. iQuell also agreeing with you there. Folks, this is your last chance. This is Splatoon Raiders, which came out last Thursday on Switch 2. And it's about 42 quid, but you can get it cheaper elsewhere. So there you go. If there are no more scores in the chat, I can tell you that this got 8 out of 10. So just slightly off there, Tunesy. I agree with this. I mean, that's a good score. I don't know whether I will get slightly bored with this. It's funny. I thoroughly enjoyed Donkey Kong last year, Donkey Kong Bonanza, up to a point, and then I did get bored of it. Yeah. I do wonder if it's the same for this, but for what I've played so far, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I don't know whether I'm going to like this more. So it'd be interesting to see how I know they're not really the same kind of game, but it'd be interesting to see how I feel about it. So yeah, see. Dinoblade is actually joint second highest score of the night. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? So we had Dive or Die, Children of Rain, Avatar Legends, the fighting game, and Splatoon Raiders all getting 8 out of 10. And then Dinoblade and Fading Echo were the next best scoring games with 7.5. So there you go. Congratulations to the following people who said 8. Shout outs are going now. Retro Shazar, Flame, Danka, Hannah. I think that's everyone. Oh, Brian, obviously from the UK Gaming Network. My apologies. Hannah says, started and ended on a high, did shit in the middle of. What? No, that can't be. That's true. Anna says 4 out of 8, 50%. Good going. Good going. Brian and Kindred, congratulations. 7 out of 8 tonight. Well done. Well done. Yeah. There you go. Very well done. Danka doing 5 out of 8. Very reputable score. There you go. Thank you so much. It's not the end of the show, though, because we have still got the charts to do. And obviously, every week we look at different charts. And let's see what has been taking place in the UK retail charts. Now, I can tell you, last week in the UK retail charts, no new games entered the charts. Okay? That's all I'm going to say on that. And as we know, the number one game of the time was Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. That was the new number one game. Brian says, and with that, I need to go to bed. So we do have some new releases. Let's see how they fared. And let's see how the UK resale games chart top 10 has changed. So at number 10, a re-entry into the top 40. Transformers Battlegrounds at number 10. Up 23 places at number 9, Assassin's Creed Shadows. Down 2 places, Mario Kart World. At number 7, down 4 places, a former number 1, 007 First Light. Down 1 place, Pokemon Pocopia. At number 5, down 3 places, EA Sports FC 26. Back in the top 40, a re-entry at number 4 is Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate. Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream, is up 1 place at number 3. Knocked off the top spot at number 2 is Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. And the new number 1 game is Splatoon Raiders, which we have just talked about. So Assassin's Creed Black Flag lasted 2 weeks in the top 10. But it also means the following games exited the top 10. Star Fox had been in there for a couple of weeks. Mouse PI for Hire obviously got its physical release. I have just been raided. Hello, Zidulan. Thank you for the raid. Welcome on in. We are talking the gaming charts. It's Tuesday night gaming chat with myself, Mag, and my guest co-host tonight, Dave, not Dave, Tunesy. There you go. Kristen, how you doing? Good to see you. Zidulan, thank you so much. Welcome in. For those who don't know me, I'm Middle-Aged Gamer Guy, also known as Mag, and this is Tuesday night gaming chat, where we talk about all the latest games, news, and reviews. And we've just revealed that this game that came out on Thursday, Splatoon Raiders, is the brand new number 1 game in the UK, knocking Assassin's Creed Black Flag off the top. What is interesting is, due to the sales of Assassin's Creed Black Flag, Assassin's Creed Shadows is now selling really well. And obviously last year, as mentioned, it was classed as a bit of a flop for Ubisoft. So this is actually driving sales because it wasn't a bad game. I'm going to state this. Assassin's Creed Shadows was not a bad game. You are very welcome, Zidulan. Thank you so much for considering us for a raid. I greatly appreciate it. So Assassin's Creed doing well. Obviously, we've seen it before in the charts. Mortal Kombat 11, back re-entered in the top 40. But then Transformers Battlegrounds, out of nowhere, in the top 10. So random. But yes, as I was saying just before the raid, the 3 other games that have done very well, that are now out the top 10, Star Fox, the physical edition of Mouse PI for Hire, and obviously a former number 1, Resident Evil Requiem. But that has gone out the top 10 before and has come back in and was back in for a couple of weeks. So you never know, it might jump back in the top 10 again, because that is the highest selling game of the year so far, with 007 First Light being the second best selling game of the year. Any surprises? Any things that you were like, yeah, that was bound to happen there, Tunes? Your thoughts on this? Chat, let us know your thoughts on this week's top 10.
So, yeah, I mean, to me, in that way, it's no surprise that Splatoon Raiders debuted at number 1. And it's a nice follow-on from the fact that we included it in the releases. Yeah. But it shows that the franchise's appeal extends beyond the traditional sort of competitive multiplayer format of it. Yeah. But also, Nintendo have got 4 games in the top 8 at 1, 3, 6, and 8, I think. And with Black Flag only dropping to number 2, it shows that the launch wasn't just a sort of a 1 week nostalgia spike. And also, with Shadows jumping up, as you say, 23 places. Yeah. Yes, I'm sure it was caused by Black Flag, but it doesn't matter because it just shows what the power of a game can do in terms of the other games in the series. Yeah. The one that I'm surprised about was Transformers Battlegrounds. But again, I mean, we never know with the re-entries because it could be supermarket offers, retailer discounts. So it may not. I don't know how much it takes to get a game kind of back up, but yeah, it's I do like Mortal Kombat 11 though. Yeah, it's Mortal Kombat 11 is good. But yeah, so no, it didn't surprise me, Splatoon got the number one
No.
spot. It did surprise me how sort of Black Flag then brought Shadows up.
Yeah.
And then Nintendo are just, well, say 50% of the top 8.
Yeah. Yeah. Nathan Metcalf, thank you for the follow. iQuail has looked into it because he says, isn't this getting delisted? And I thought I heard a news story saying it was getting delisted. So Transformers Battlegrounds is going to be getting delisted. So they're clearing stock. This is why it's back in the top 10. Back in the top, it wasn't even in the top 40 when it re-entered. So there you go. With Mortal Kombat, it's more likely a sale. We also saw a lot of Mortal Kombat games come back in the top 10 when the new film was out. Yeah. So for 2 weeks, we got a couple of the Mortal Kombat games in the top 10 then. So that one doesn't surprise me. Another one we keep seeing bouncing in and out the charts when there's a sale is Cyberpunk, the Ultimate Edition. So that happens a lot. So there you go. Folks, that is it. That is the charts. And that is our show. Thank you so much for watching. Greatly appreciate it. Next week, I'll be back with my original co-host, Mr. David Jones. He'll be back in the seat. And it will be the last TNGC before Timeless.
Ooh.
I know. Can you believe it? Odie, hello, lovely. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Our guest for the show is one of our partners. It is going to be Emily and Sawyer from the Gamer Guide. So there you go. Kristen says, I leave for England next week. Amazing. Amazing. We will see you there. Can't wait to see you. So it's going to be so good. But yes, that will be the last TNGC before Timeless. There obviously, the week of Timeless, there will be no TNGC. But as we've stated, the week after, there'll be no guest on the show. But Dave and me are basically going to sum up the 2 weeks, the week of Timeless and the week that we're doing. And we're just going to blitz for a load of games and load of news stories in that 2 weeks. So it's going to be kind of like a condensed special in that respect. So there you go. I am back tomorrow at 7 o'clock. We are live broadcasting. I say live broadcasting because it was pre-recorded, but live co-broadcasting the for one night only event, which I was at in London this time last week. Hence why we did this show on Monday last week. So you'll be able to see that. It was a 3-hour filming session. It's been cut down to 2 hours. We are going to show that for 2 hours. And then we are going to get into a game that we talked about on last week's show. We are going to play The Mound Omen of Cthulhu. And I've got a copy of the game to give away. Also, Thursday, I'll be back on at 8:30. We'll be playing the brand new Halo Campaign Evolved, which we'll be talking on next week's show. So there you go. Obviously, Scar R Star says, honestly, looking forward to a Timeless a lot this year. It's going to be great. Folks, the VIP tickets have now sold out. If you want to get your standard, your family, your evening only tickets, they are all still on sale, but there are no more VIP tickets. They have gone. Okay. But I want to say a massive shout out to our guest co-host tonight, who stood in for the second time this year. We hope Dave's having a good holiday. He'll be back. Thank you so much, Mr. Tunes.
You are more than welcome. It's a pleasure as always.
No, thank you for being here. Tunesy will be at Timeless as well, so you can go.
I will.
Go get a selfie, get an autograph. Why not? You know.
I'll be at the VIP night.
Yeah, go buy him a beer. He deserves it. There you go. Thank you to all of you who've been in chat. Greatly appreciate it. Again, apologies from our guests, Southwesterly Games. They will be back with us later in the year, but you will see more of them because they will also be at Timeless, amongst other things. You will get to see them as part of One Night Only tomorrow night, and you'll see them when we do some interviews at Radar as well over on the MCR Meetups channel. Thank you to all the mods. Thank you to Jesse and iQuell for doing all the shout-outs. And thank you to all you viewers on YouTube and Twitch. We are going to go do a raid Go see who's on. And I'm going to exit into the night, just like Danker did earlier. So let's see who's on and who we can raid. Let's have a look. I'll be there. And if an item arrives prior, I should have an identifier tag. Ooh. iQuell's at Spider-Man tomorrow. So at most, I'll drop in to get my streak. No worries. Enjoy the new Spider-Man film. I hope it's excellent because all the other ones have been excellent. Let's have a look. Oh, Chaotic's on. We haven't raided Chaotic in a while. What is she playing? Oh, she's playing the Silent Hill 2 remake, which was good. Didn't make our top 15 games of when it come out, but it's certainly good. I did enjoy it. And we are getting a Silent Hill remake by the same people, Bloober Team. So this is going to be good. So let's go raid Chaotic. That raid will start when the end credits have run. And all that leaves for me to say is, wherever you are in the world, have a great morning, great afternoon, great evening, and I shall see you back here tomorrow at just before 7 p.m. live. TTFN. Thank you, Odie. For me and Tunesy, thank you so much. Take care. Good night.
Good night, all.